for the first time, the Swans are onward to victory.
Welcome back to A Bevy of Bloods, a fan podcast of the Sydney Swans Football Club.
So to all you loyal Swans out there who just can't get enough of the red and the white,
fluff up your tail feathers and settle in for a potentially biased yarn about all things to do with our beloved Bloods.
G'day there, Cygnets and Swanlings. Welcome back to A Bevy of Bloods, your premier place for our beloved Sydney Swans AFLW. And this week, I am, of course, joined by my brother over there in Finland in Stevo, but we have a very, very special guest, defender in tow, Lara, the big house Hausegger. Lara, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Not a problem at all. Look, let me get stuck straight into it. Playing every game this year. You debuted last year, but this year you've been an absolute staple in the defence over there. How's it feeling? How's the body holding up at the moment?
Yeah, well, no injuries for me, touch wood. I've been really enjoying my footy. Been playing more consistent footy, and I think that comes off the back of a big pre-season, as well as my teammates getting around me, and I feel fully trusted in my role, and hopefully I can execute for the team each week.
Yeah, cool. And yeah, Steve here. Lara, thanks for being with us. It's great to have you on. And so this year, it's your second year in the AFLW. You played, 6 games last year and now 7 straight. And you'd been in the VFLW with Collingwood before that. How different do you find the AFLW versus the VFLW?
Yeah, it was a big step up, quicker game, bigger bodies, as well as just some more professional environment, obviously, from VFL to AFL. But I've been really enjoying it, and it's actually kind of nice to see the difference, honestly, because you can see how far the game's coming and growing to this day.
Yeah, I actually wanted to touch on that. So you're playing with some really fantastic co-captains there in Malloy and in McEvoy. What have they brought to you in your game, or maybe on the field and maybe off the field, if you can touch on that?
Yeah, both of them are very big key parts in our team, and for me especially, moving up to Sydney was a big change for me, freshly 18, just out of school, moving out of home and to a completely different state. So they both played a big role in settling me in and making me feel comfortable up at the Swans, as well as on the field. They different leadership types. They balance each other out perfectly, but they're big parts in our game day, and we're very lucky to have them.
Who is the more rowdy one of the two? Can I ask? I don't want you to get you in trouble with your captains, but let us know a little.
They both give very good pre-game speeches, I'm not going to lie. They can both get very rowdy. But I would say Lucy's a bit more maybe quieter or composed at times, and Chloe is kind of the energy of the team, I would say.
Lovely. I'll quickly ask this one and pass it back over to Stevo. In the team you've solidified yourself in, of course, you just mentioned they're coming all the way up to Sydney to make the AFLW dream true, and we're very happy to have you, and we're very lucky to have you, to be honest. Who is the best friend in that locker room right now? Who have you really built camaraderie with?
Yeah. One of the new drafts, Amelia Martin, this year.
Wow. Excellent.
Is one of my best friends in the team. We get along so well. Very, very similar people. So, yeah, she's probably my best friend.
Yeah, nice one. And so you came out of Oakley Chargers in the juniors in Melbourne, and the underage footy. And Oakley Chargers it's like a talent factory. I'll read off just a couple of names: Mimi Hill, Charlie Rowbottom, Jasmine Fleming, Caddy Lynch, and then in the men's we got Matt Rowell, Noah Anderson, Nick Dacos, Rowbottom. I could go forever with names. Yeah, it's a long list. What is it about what's going on down at the Chargers that is so strong and that's producing so many quality footballers?
There's a really good program down there. I was lucky enough to be coached by Ty Vickery, who was an amazing coach. he taught me a lot in my junior footy, which was amazing. But yeah, it's just a really good family club. Everyone enjoys their footy, and there's a real desire to win as well and compete, which I think comes a long way.
Lovely. Since you've been in the AFLW system, you played against some of the best that have been around, definitely in the modern time. Who has been your toughest opponent so far?
I'd have to say last week's game on Eloise Jones. She's a really crafty player. Kind of you don't know where she's going to lead, so you have to be really switched on the whole time. But it was a big game for us and very close, I think. It was quite a challenging game across the board.
Yeah, and that would have been your first time against the Crows, hey? Because the time before that the Swans played them was in the finals the year before you came. So how was it up against a team like with that much of a pedigree in women's footy?
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, it was a really good experience. We took a lot of growths out of it. I think from our behalf, we did play Swans footy and we were disappointing with the loss. It was disappointing with the loss, but we taking our growths out of it, and we did play a brand of footy that we're proud of, and just probably couldn't capitalize when we should have.
Yeah, we enjoyed watching it on the telly. Like it was a game that we were really sort of pumped up because you don't always get to play the top teams because of the way the fixture works, and yeah, we were really stoked to see how the team went. As fans, it was great. So you said before you moved up to Sydney as an 18-year-old a couple of years ago. So this is your second year in Sydney now. How have you been settling in sort of in the, I guess now medium term? What was the move for Melbourne like? Had you spent much time in Sydney before you got drafted?
Yeah, no, I had spent much time in Sydney before I was drafted. Drove up from Melbourne, which was a big drive. But I'm feeling much settled now. I am also studying up here in uni, so I've got a friendship group outside of my Swans group as well, which is lovely to have a bit of a balance. So yeah, feeling settled, loving the beaches, loving the warm weather compared to Melbourne. So
Yeah.
can't
Yep.
complain really.
How's
It's not
the
much of a
coffee?
winter here, is it?
I'm curious. What's the Sydney coffee quality like compared to Melbourne?
Oh,
Is that a dangerous
I'm
area to go?
I'm not the biggest coffee drinker, so I
Uh-huh.
maybe can't comment, but I have heard that it's not the best
Oh, okay. Wow.
Wow.
compared to
Oof.
Melbourne.
Yeah,
Hostile.
I think
Hostile.
I can agree with that. I'm not gonna dare argue. As a relatively neutral from the north, I can say that the Melbourne coffee is pretty good.
Yeah. Whatever, both of you. Uh, I actually really wanted to hear from you, and we've asked this question from everyone in the interview. We've interviewed Viv, Chloe Malloy a couple of times, McAvoy, ET. I actually really want to ask you straight up, Scotty Gowans, tell us, what is he like in that locker room? What is he like as a coach?
I love Scotty as a coach. He's obviously doing great things for our program. He's very data based, which is amazing. It's good to see both sides. But he's a very friendly and approachable person, I would say. So that always makes it easy for feedback and like getting to the point directly, I guess.
That's really interesting because the impression that we get as fans over the TV is that he does come along as a bit of like a calm presence that's very approachable. But then in talking to some of your fellow teammates, it comes across that he is the kind of person that sometimes can be a bit scary. Are we getting a double side over here?
Not from me. No, I would say
Okay.
exactly what I said.
Nice.
Straight bat. I like this. Well done,
Very
Lara.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, I think yeah, I think just watching like from the outside, there's something in the integrity that he speaks when he speaks to the media and stuff about the club and the program. It's really nice to see as fans. I was wondering this. I've been wondering this for a while actually, especially as the season goes on and on. And the squad's been pretty healthy so far. I think we counted, you've got 15 players that have played all 7 games to this point in the season. So that means that there are some players who are missing out each week, who are in and out. And we were wondering, like, how do you keep those players match fit? And is there any footy for them to play, especially at this time of year when a lot of the comps are wrapping up or have wrapped up?
Yeah. So the girls are not selected. It's called a scrimmage game, which is majority of the teams in the competition um, play their girls who aren't playing first grade in this competition, and the team could be made up of a couple different teams and they verse each other. Um, so that's sort of how we can still play games in the season. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and because there's no sort of equivalent like direct feeder competition that comes into the AFLW, is there? There's the AFLW, and then there's various other, I guess, state and regional based comps underneath. Is that how it works?
In Melbourne, they have the VFL, which is probably a feeder, but in Sydney, we don't have a second tier competition as of yet. So that's sort of how we're working around it.
Yeah, cool.
Lara, you've, as we've said, cemented yourself into the Swans team, do an incredible job back there. How does it feel to really be able to look at the mirror and call yourself an AFLW player at such a young age? You must be really proud of yourself, and I hope you are. But how does it feel every day? Does it feel surreal? Is it just getting through every day? What's the process like?
Yeah, it's a big privilege. I'm very grateful. Um, I'm living my dream and doing exactly what I'm passionate about, and I get to do it with my friends pretty much every day. So um, it is a bit of a surreal thing. I feel like when you're stuck in the grind and you're training every day and playing weekly right now, you can kind of forget to have a look and see how far you've come. But it's nice to have a little reflection every now and then. And again, I'm just so grateful to be here, honestly.
I remember the phone call with your dad when you originally got drafted. Did you ask him afterwards? Did a few tears come up when he got that phone call?
Yeah, definitely. I think he was very excited when I called him, but after he called me back,
Yeah.
which was nice.
So yeah, he kept the emotions until after the camera from the socials kind of went away. That's pretty clever from him.
Yeah.
Mr. Hausinger knows what's up. He knows what's going on.
I got a couple of questions. Well, actually, one in particular. I'm curious that when you grow up, because we're getting into a stage now where we do have a lot more players in the AFLW who have been like sort of like younger girls and teenagers with the AFLW existing. It started in 2017. So that's what, 8 years ago now. I guess you would have been 12. Is that right? Uh,
hmm
did you have any players that you used to watch when you were younger that you looked up to and sort of tried to emulate, aspire to?
Yeah. Um, Funny enough, I actually used to always watch Chloe on the TV, obviously.
Oh
Mm.
wow!
So it's pretty cool to be playing with her now. Along with Monique Conti, I used to play basketball when I was little, so I thought it was so cool that she was a dual athlete and playing both. So definitely looked up to her when I was little as well.
And on that, so you grew up with basketball. What was the decision point for you to go from basketball to AFL?
Yeah. So grew up playing basketball. I have a twin brother, and an older brother as well, and they both played footy at the time. So they kind of convinced me just to give it a shot, and then once I was able to play, I sort of never looked back, and I wasn't allowed to do both sports because they clashed. So I had to pick one, and then from there, pretty much is how I'm here. So
All right. So in the backyard, do you play like do you play like ball up or so? Like and how often do you just crush him for no reason? Your twin brother.
I think it's pretty even. I would say we all crush each other, honestly. So I don't know.
Nice.
Just depends. Depends.
Yeah. You got to take
Are there any
speckies off
skills
your
like with the
sibling as often
basketball?
as you can.
Pardon, what was that?
You need to take speckies off your twin brother as often as you can, I feel. I think that's good training.
Yeah, definitely.
Wondering with the basketball, we hear quite a lot about footy players having come across from basketball, and I'm wondering, are there any particular like skills or like knowledge of types of gameplay or anything you think have helped in footy coming from that background?
Yeah, definitely. Um, I think definitely a lot of the skills are transferable. Um, a lot to do with how you defend, and the most dangerous play in basketball is also very easily transferred into footy. Like obviously the court and the oval are completely different sizes, but it's the same principle. As well as like ball handling skills, I feel like also transfer across.
And who's the best basketballer at the Swans right now? And if it's not you, why not?
It's definitely not me. Paris McCarthy is really good at basketball.
Really?
Yeah, she
Okay.
played a bit overseas when she went back to Ireland in the off season, so I would have to say her.
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
you'd
All right,
have a good
Paris.
little 1-on-1 or 2-on-2 tournament because Chloe Malloy also knocked
Mm.
back Division 1 scholarships, I think, in college basketball in the
College,
US. So
yeah.
yeah, you'd have a nice little tournament, I think, at the Swans.
Yeah, maybe we could organise it.
Yeah,
Yeah, down there in Lonnie.
off
You're
season.
currently,
Yeah, maybe
yeah, you're in Launceston right now playing North this week. You know, best of luck this week. It's a very tough opponent, of course. You know, best have done it in a few years. They're pretty crazy. But is it your first time down in Tasmania, or have you been down there before?
For footy?
Yeah, for footy.
Yeah, first time down here for footy. So pretty excited. Big challenge for the weekend, but all the girls and myself included are pretty excited. I'm ready to get into it.
You don't sound like anyone who gets too fussed about the opponent, Lara. It kind of feels like you just get stuck into it, and we really appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right, Lara, I guess we'll leave you with that. Thank you so much for joining the potty. We really appreciate it. Good luck this week. And just know that us Swans fans absolutely adore what you're doing out there. And we expect to see you out there for many, many, many more years in this very young career so far.
Thank you so much for having me.
No worries. Up the Bloods. Can't use one.
Down the Swans.